So perhaps we can just start the session for today. Okay, hi, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Belinda, and I'm actually the head of marketing for Morpheus Labs. It is indeed our honor to actually be able to host you for today. And before we actually commence the program, I will take you through the agenda for tonight so that you roughly have a gauge on what's going to happen. So we'll kick off by an official address by our CEO, Mr. Chuang Pei-Han, and also at the same time followed by an welcome address by our Chief Operations Officer, Mr. Branson Lee, followed by a sharing by our Chief Information Officer, Mr. Dorel, and last but not least, there will be a sharing on security tokens, and followed by a reset and networking. Yes, that's the agenda for today. And also at the same time, right, because on behalf of our CEO, right, we will actually like to send his utmost apologies because he's unable to attend this event due to some family matters. But we actually managed to put up an address on the video itself. So please set your screen. Please set the eyes to the screen, and we'll just play in a short moment.
My name is Pei-Han. I am captain of Morpheus Labs. Apologize that today I'm not able to attend today's wonderful event due to my family matters. However, if you have any questions such as business development, marketing, distributorship, investment, and other collaborations, please feel free to approach any of my team members. Thank you again to come to today's event. And for today, we prepared a lot of promotion. Great if you sign up to our platform. For the details, you can actually approach any of them as well. Thanks again to come to today's event, and wish everybody a early happy Chinese New Year. Thank you very much.
So once again, on behalf of our CEO, we would like to thank you for the time taking to actually attend this event. And at the same time, I would also like to take this opportunity for any Q&A. We're gonna like push towards the end of the program itself. So we will definitely be keen to address any of the questions. So without any further ado, I would like to invite our Chief Operations Officer, Mr. Branson Lee, on stage to share with you more about Morpheus Labs. A round of applause, please.
Okay, good evening, everyone. I see a lot of familiar faces, maybe from some events or some blockchain events, most likely. I see some of us are really expert in blockchain as well. For example, our partner Burcea here as well, sitting over here. So, just want to very quickly introduce our team. You have heard from Pei-Han, our CEO. That's myself. We have Dorel, who will, in a while, show us the platform. Basically, Dorel looks after the technology bit. Bruce actually came from IBM, ex-IBM, so now he's also working on the platform itself. Yeah. So before I go into the blockchain or the platform itself, just want to very quickly do an introduction, a very high-level introduction. I think some of us know this already, but essentially, what we see is a lot of white space. Right? So if you look at the year 2030, the blockchain industry is actually estimated to be worth $3.1 trillion. Right? And by year 2021, investments will actually point as much as 9.2. Okay? And for us, in order to capture the 3%, I think that's a lot of white space. Right? And everyone knows Coinbase, yes? So Coinbase is one of the more popular cryptocurrency exchange based in the US. And as of Q4 last year, they were actually valued at $8 billion, right? So you can imagine all these blockchain companies and also investments are actually building up, okay? And in terms of ICOs or even investments itself, it's actually $1.3 billion as of 2018. Right? Has anyone seen this before? Yes? So this is a very famous hype cycle by Gartner, which is a consulting company. So what it says is that for all technology, it will actually start off as an innovation trigger. And then it will actually basically reach the height of exuberance, right? Just like during last year's ICO, right? Or was it the previous year? Everyone was very excited about the blockchain technology. You know, they were expecting it to actually deliver magical results, right? But of course, technologies do not work that way. So obviously then there is a sort of throw of disillusionment, right? So you start to question whether this technology actually works, right? And finally you have your slope of enlightenment, and finally it reaches the mainstream. So all technologies work this way, right? So if you look at where blockchain is today, it is sort of downwards, right? People have expected a lot, but they have hardly seen any useful dApps, right? So if you ask yourself, when was the last time I saw an interesting dApp coming out from any blockchains? Chances are it's difficult to answer. Of course, we have seen some gaming dApps, CryptoKitties, anyone? Right? So we have seen all those, but what is the actual use cases or even dApps that are useful to the industry or the society? Right? So those things are actually being expected right now. So this is where we are. Okay, and yeah, and if you look at each quarter, right? Each quarter there are more and more corporations or even Fortune 500 companies actually, coming out in the media to say that, oh, we are experimenting with blockchain, we are looking at blockchain, right? So these are just some logos. Obviously, not going to go through every single one of them, but you can see that even people like British Airways. And if you have read the newspapers, was it this morning or yesterday, HSBC actually is looking at blockchain, right? They simulated a settlement through blockchain. Even the Singapore government is actually looking at blockchain because of Project Ubin, phase 1, 2, and 3, right? So all these things are really happening. So coming back to where and what we are trying to do today is when you look at the blockchain space, there are actually three main problems. Okay, I know there are some of our friends from different industries, but you'll notice that the moment you talk about blockchain, the first question that you ask yourself is which blockchain, right? I mean, there's so many blockchains nowadays, and every other quarter, you will hear of a new blockchain coming out with higher throughputs, higher transaction speeds. But the question is, who's going to use it? Right? And how are the users going to pick which blockchain to use? So that's the first question. And the second question is, okay, once I have picked the blockchain, what kind of use cases can I use it for? Besides CryptoKitties, that is, right? And after you have actually selected the right use case, comes the next question, which is, how do I get started? Do I need to hire the blockchain developer from Singapore? If I can find one, how much do I need to pay him? Right? Or do I need to import someone from overseas? Right? So all these are real questions. So today, when we launch our platform, it's actually to address all these three problems. Right? Number one, which blockchain to use? Number two, which use case? And number three, how do I get started? Right? And more often than not, we all know that blockchain is still a very nascent technology. And as with all technologies, it's too early to place a bet on which one. Correct? Case in point, 20 years ago, we all know that Yahoo was king. Right? Yahoo was the default search engine. Right? Fast forward 20 years later, Yahoo is not the dominant force. Google is the dominant force. So history has shown that it is too early to place your bets, and while the infrastructure is still building up. So I think for a lot of enterprises, they are faced with this dilemma or conundrum. Do I spend a lot of money developing on this blockchain, and then I rinse and repeat on another blockchain? So how much do I have to spend? 500,000? There are not so many enterprises out there that can afford to actually spend 500,000 on each blockchain, and then you repeat 4 or 5 times. That's $2 million, right? So that's a lot of money for you to actually experiment around. So what we are trying to do here at Morpheus Labs is to give you what we call a low cost of failure, so you can fail faster, right? It's funny to say that you can fail faster, but that's the truth, right? Innovation has to go through iterations before you finally come up with the final version, right? So this is a sample architecture of what we have. I'm not going to go through it because it's a little bit technical, but this is the entire stack. So we have APIs, we have load balancing at the back end. We have an app library that allows you to pull in the different code. Obviously, we are also working with our partner blockchains to actually put in more use cases specific to different blockchains. Okay. So for our partners, we're actually working with Hyperledger, Ethereum, VeChain, NAM, Blockchain, NOWS, and so on and so forth. So, and I mentioned this earlier, which is that we aim to actually allow you to save as much as more than a few months, right? If you are trying to develop something, right, hiring a blockchain developer or a team of blockchain developers, right? How much time and effort are you going to waste or put in order to actually get your most simple version of the app out, right? And after you have done all this, you do not have to actually repeat again, right? Just switch over to the next stack. Let's say you started off on VeChain, you can actually switch over to another blockchain very quickly, right? Or vice versa. Okay. So, as I mentioned, we have different blockchains put on top of the stack. Okay, and then you have your enterprise solutions, and then from there you can actually push it out to your production. This is again a snapshot of where we are today. We are actually partnering with a lot of distributors. So one of them is actually Amazon. We're also working with a Bahraini a company called Sure International. You can actually Google them. Okay, SmartMind is based in Korea. We also have a partnership with Hanwha Group, okay, to actually help develop blockchain courses. And at the same time, once that has developed to a certain extent, we will actually allow the developers to actually try our blockchain. Okay. So, without further ado, let us show you what exactly we have prepared for you in terms of the blockchain.
So let's give another round of applause to Branson. Just give us a little bit moment. We need to do a little bit of setup. Perhaps can you just
Okay, so thank you, Branson, for the introduction, and now let's give a shape to what we have said before. So everyone knows, I think everyone came here with a wish to know what every startup shows platform, what does it mean. It is the place where we give to the business the way to create their applications, their products in blockchain. So we facilitate this, as Branson showed before. So let me just log in, and I will explain step by step what is inside. Okay. I will try to speak and work simultaneously. Screen is a bit stretched, okay, too wide. Okay, so simply what we have here, I will just give a here, just going. So the screen is too wide, but it's very easy to explain. On the upper part, the workspace, so it's the place where I develop, I work, I create. On the second layout, my repository is the place where I store what I do. So simply, this platform concept has following the latest trend in the development. which is community-based development. That means that everyone remotely can work in a community, can share, and co-work. So it's not only a workspace, I would say more it's a co-working space. Why? Because everything here, everything we create, it's fast and easy. So let me just show you this part. I said it's a working area, so I will just click. And what is the first? We see here, I'm a blockchain developer, Ethereum, Hyperledger, multi-chain, a VChain, then doesn't matter to me. I'm ready to go. So I don't have to configure my laptop, my software in my own laptop, and scratch my head how many days I need to deploy anything locally and then try and test. Everything is here. So if I'm trying to go ahead, just I can select and go rapidly. So to the next phase, and here is what Branson said before, we offer stack. And this is one of the main advantage. You don't have to prepare anything before you start. You have already ready to go software and hardware running in cloud, and the developer easily can recognize, can search. Imagine here you can have like a library of stacks, so you can search through the component you are looking to. You may looking to develop with Truffle, you might looking to develop APIs, so Spring Boot, or whatever we publish here. It is just because we follow the trend, we follow what developers want more. And what is the feedback it comes to us from them. Based on what they want, we publish what they want, and we follow the trend. So if we choose a stack, and what I said before, I connect to one of my repository, which is here, I can create, I can show you the next step, which is nothing else than a connection to a repository which can be GitHub or GitLab. Currently we support GitHub, GitLab, and working to support also GitHub. GitHub we support during the development, but we not support during the saving of the data. We support only on GitLab. But for development we support both, okay? So very fast and easy, I can select one or more of this repository, and I can go ahead and create the repository. Yes. So I can work, have many repository, different needs, and different blockchains. Different needs means the stack. Different blockchains is the protocol. Okay. And here I can execute the boot of this workspace, and the workspace will start up a machine ready to go for me with what is needed inside. Okay, in meantime, what is this part? I can show you one. It's nothing else than a connection to a repository, so anyone can attach his own project from outside. You have been project manager or developer before, you can be migrating in the platform anything you have done before. Okay, very easy. You can even connect here. You can see your own groups from outside, or you can add new repository manually from here. So it's fully integrated with the Git repository. Okay. So we have one, we have two workspaces up and running. Next step, I want to open to look inside. Okay, in the meantime, I can put this, I want to open to look inside, and I will, okay. Multitasking, so we have advanced integration with Eclipse, which allows the multitasking working, so you can move between different IDE components and work, no matter it's a web, you can move and you cannot lose the session. So in my case, I was creating this before, so as you can see, my code is already inside, from the repository it's already inside. I have access to terminals, and I can do all my job here. And I have the right machines running for me. Okay. Okay, I will go on this one. This one is the second one, and it's running. So I have two workspaces running in this moment, and I can work on both. I explained that this is to store my source code. What else I can do? I can publish my work after finishing the application library. So once I click here, and it's published. It's published, it's ready to go for the application library. So another component that we have is that we don't stop only on working and creation. After creation has been done, you feel confident with your creation and with your source code. If it's robust enough, you can go and publish and become, make aware your creativity outside. How it works is work like any other app store, but it is based on blockchain itself. So developers are incentivized to contribute to maintain their application in a good status, and there is an incentive in terms of profit share between our platform and the developer itself. So any contribution here, you can be free, okay, and can be also in token. What does it mean? Token circulating, token moving around, and means for us source of revenue, of course, and we can maintain our service up and running. Okay, I will just pause. Okay. If any question, I will go very fast. We don't have too much time, but I can take questions.
Are this private chains or public?
I will move immediately and show you. We support private chains and public chain, of course, direct connection to any public chain from the repository, from the console. Both type. It is natively integrated with the source version control. So it's GitHub, it's nothing else than API integration with GitHub or GitLab. So it's
when you do a copy, your own version.
I can check my own version control. You are talking about application library or code?
Yeah, both. So you do your own. I mean, everybody know how it works. So if you are using the Git model, so my question is, what kind of control you exercise here?
We have an approval flow.
Who does that? And how often do you do that? And between version and updating, what kind of flow? Yeah.
So each code we have a review and approval flow on that. So as you can see on each application, there is evaluation. So we don't have on that, because it's a test environment, but on that, any other user can tell this application is fake, this application doesn't work. So we have also a review from peers, and we have an approval from administration point of view. And strictly about versioning, any application, it's related to the workspace and the factory. We have a factory. So inside, there is one-to-one relationship. You change the workspace, you change the version of the application. You change the software, you change the version.
So it's a peer-to-peer review.
It can be a peer review by the users which download. Once you have downloaded the application, I will show you immediately how it works. Once you have downloaded the application, you can give a review on that. If you don't download, you cannot give a review, of course.
So the review, is it done on the scoring method or is it algorithm based or both or whatever?
A review is manually. You have to write the text. Once you have downloaded, you can give a review on the specific text window.
So perhaps we can just proceed with the Q&A towards the end of the program.
Okay, so just because I'm here, I will just open a download to show how fast it is and how it works. So we have, for example, we have this application. You see the evaluate and download. I can initiate the download. Okay, and we have a download in progress here of the application from the App Store. What does it mean? That it is already in my repository. So from the store, from the Morpheus Labs store, it is automatically downloaded in my repository, the repository which I connected from outside. So if I connected my Git, the application will be stored in my Git repository, so I can reuse as a workspace to continue the cycle of development and do other things. Yeah, I will show, in meanwhile, I will show this. Okay, it's downloaded. So, right here. Once you have downloaded, you can create a new workspace. So I will close the cycle right now. So from the App Store, I downloaded the application. So what means the publisher already specified the stack to me, so I don't have to do many things. I just get it and test it and look into it. If I want, I can further customize it or change the stack or change the composition inside, but it's already ready. Okay, coming back to blockchains. This is a basic user. We have we have a membership management with different composition of, but it takes too much to explain now. We have a team management about the team working. I said this so everything can be shared between team components. And I explained about application library and now blockchain operations. And blockchain operation, we have an easy to go way where we can install different blockchain protocols. As mentioned before, we have Ethereum, VeChain for development, Hyperledger Fabric, and NEM, the latest version of and multi-chain. So this is to allow any developer to test, develop, test, and deploy, and see how it is, the difference between different protocol and different blockchain technology. Okay, I will show very easy deployment of one blockchain. So blockchain is ready to go. I can start them and yeah, and it's ready. Meanwhile, this is starting. I can show you the difference. I can log off and show the difference, how it looks an advanced and not an enterprise user. here we have possibility to add up to 6 networks which can run simultaneously. Different capacity of networks that you can run, considering the team and share across the team of projects. So what does it mean? More productivity and more power. Okay, that's enough for the moment. Log out. Back to my initial user. Okay, multi-chain is ready, it's started. Just to show for who is expert on blockchain, but not, this is not intended to very senior, so it's very intuitive. Any network exposing different entry points, so you can connect application from outside and from inside the platform. For example, this is the explorer of multi-chain, if anyone see before. Okay, and these are endpoint connections. For example, workspace you can connect to it. I will show you later. Okay. Yeah, let's start also this. So as you can see, I'm cutting down all the time needed and effort for installation of blockchain. It's of course is needed. Anyone needs to know what blockchain is and what get node, for example, for Ethereum is. But once you have to work in a team in productivity, you have to be able to manage and work fast. Okay, so here we have also explorer of Pei-Han. Okay. Okay. And now, because the Pei-Han is started, I'm going to show you a little a demo in a demo. Okay. So I'm going to open this project. Okay. Here I have my services in my based on the project needs. I know what my project is. It's a Node.js and the HTTP server, so I'm running my application. Hopefully everything is fine. If not, I have to restart the workspace. No, looks not good because maybe too much time open. So I will start. Okay. I will restart. Sometimes it happens after a while, the session timeout. So this is just a stop and start, and then you can start the reconnect to the workspaces. Okay, what I'm counting here, I'm counting my consumption. It's about 2 gig of real usage memory in real time. Okay, I will stop some resources. show you some other features. It's about the co-working. Trying, let's see. I'm adding a new user, registered user in my team. This is my organization, so you can register as organization, no problem. And I'm admin, the basic user, which is me. Now I'm admin and I added a new member, right? So what I'm doing right now is, let's take whatever this one, and I share this to the user. I will log out. Okay, so with just one click, I share to my team management. By the way, as a project manager of the entire organization, we are working on, but almost ready. You can watch from mobile everything, and you can approve, share workspace from mobile phone, and start and stop blockchains from mobile phone. So why I'm saying mobile phone, I will show you immediately. So this, I can log out. Okay. Just one click, so that user can use the workspace but cannot remove it. Can start, stop, use but not change. Another features, because we are talking about team management, so as project manager or whatever mission I have, I can share blockchains to team members. So what they can do practically, they can use the nodes, they can read the nodes, they can read the entry points, they can connect their application, they can stop and start eventually, they can remove whatever is I decide as admin. So this is why, to avoid that another team member start and create again, do again the same work, to avoid duplicate works first, and to avoid wasting resources in my organization, because it's counted one. So one blockchain you can share across 10 team members, 50 team members is one. Okay. Anyone can use it for deploying smart contracts, testing from the workspace. Okay. So exactly, I will not lose time. Exactly what I have done with the workspace, I can do it here. I can share. The other user login and can use it and do the work. Okay. We'll try again. There is more time. Do I still have time to show the last slide?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I stopped the space, just run the server. Okay. Okay. Somebody here in the room maybe is familiar with this page? Okay, I just want to show a simple small pen. I will minimize this. I will go to my blockchain. Okay, so because this is a very, very nice application which helps to deploy a token in the VeChain network. As mentioned, Branson, before, VeChain is our partner, protocol partner. We are working with them tightly to integrate our platform to make it work smoothly. Okay, so I will show you right now how this goes easy, hopefully, for the demo. Okay, so so as I mentioned before, for any developer, very easy. We have Explorer here for VeChain. I showed you before. We have this external RPCs to connect wallets. Okay, just to answer to any questions. Internal RPCs to connect applications of the developer. So because I will use a wallet, a particular wallet, okay, so I'm going to connect the wallet to my own private blockchain, right? Okay, so this is the wallet, custom node. So what I did, copy and paste, right? Okay, back. And now I will import an account, back to the platform, get account, only the admin can do that. And whatever the admin has shared to the members, I will take one. Okay, back. MetaMask always the same. Okay, I'm very rich. Okay, 1 billion. So now let's deploy our token. This is the crowdfunding owner or owner of the, okay. I will copy my address, which I imported in my wallet. This is a big screen. I was a bit scared, never see before. This is the wallet expand to all the screen. Okay, so the confirm. Do I confirm that I want to create 1 billion of tokens? Okay. Okay. It should be almost fast. It should be fast. About 1 minute maximum, but I don't know. I will not repeat the test if it fails. So you trust me because I've done it before. I will let it go. I will let it go. If probably some network issue, it will finish or not. I will show on my laptop it finished. I think I have done all my work for today. If there are other questions in the Q&A, you can ask. Thanks.
Let us give another round of applause to Dorel. Yes, the tech team actually spent a lot of man-hours to actually develop this platform. So next up, we'd like to invite Branson back here again with us to share with regards to the security token.
Are there any developers in the house? No developers. It's actually quite nerve-wracking to actually to write codes on the fly. Seriously, trust me, it's not easy. Anyway, so just to sum up what Dorel has done, I think that was a wonderful demo by Dorel. So in summary, we have multiple blockchains running on the platform. Time to market, I think I cannot stress this enough. Essentially what you have seen is very quickly set up different blockchains, run different blockchains, pull in different code, deploy immediately. So all these things can be done very quickly. How long did it take? 20 minutes to actually from starting the blockchain to actually running the DM. It's super fast, right? Compared to selecting the blockchain, download all the packages, wait for the node to sync, and finally after you sync it over 2 days because you can download all the blockchain information, and then you got to start developing. But when you start developing, where are you going to find the code base, right? So all these things are shortened by leaps and bounds, okay? And of course, the cost itself, okay? So these are different stacks that we have in terms of the pricing. I think after today, I would urge you to go and give it a try, sign up to our platform, and start developing straight away, right? Yeah, this is the link. It will be live tonight at midnight, bps.morpheuslab.io. Okay, so just take note of that URL. Next up, just now was the main course. Of course, we also have side dish. This is the side dish. I'm sure some of you have attended some security token seminars and things like that. Yeah, so I just want to talk very quickly about STOs. I think most of us are very interested about STOs after the ICO exuberance. Right? So essentially, the STO space is estimated to be worth a lot of money, and the reason is because everything can be tokenized. Right? So this is just an estimation. So there are different types of tokens out there. Again, I'm not here to give you a lecture, but essentially you have your payment token, you have your utility token, and of course now you have your security token or your asset token. Okay. So what is a security token? Security token is nothing more than you take a real world asset and then you put a digital wrapper around it. That's it. It's as simple as that. That's the simplest form. Okay. And of course there are many comparisons, right? Of course people have talked about ICO, which is right in the center column, right? No regulatory oversight. Anyone can do it. But of course, you have to check with your local regulations. If it's utility in Singapore, you're fine. Okay. Track record, weak. Adoption. The duration of offerings, depending, right? Most of it is short, but I think we have one ICO called EOS, which ran for a year. It's open to all. Preparation cost is low, pretty low, right? Now, let's look at the STO column, right? STO column, essentially, regulatory is very heavy, okay? Very comprehensive because you need to get the lawyers involved, okay? The legal fraternity. You can have no track record, okay? But of course, when you get involved with STOs, you need to have, you're investing into some company, right? Asset backed. The question then becomes, how do you verify all these claims, okay? Profit sharing, duration of offerings can be moderate, it's open to all, and preparation is moderate as well. But if you look at the IPO side, it's pretty lengthy, right? So you could have, in Singapore, I think it's 5 years of profit, more than $1 million and so on and so forth, okay? So when you look at STOs, essentially is an intersection of blockchain technology with government regulation, okay? And these two things add up together, it gives you the security tokens. Of course, in Singapore, you have the MES, it's heavily regulated by MES under the Securities Futures Act, SFA. and in Switzerland will be the FINMA. Okay. So there are different types of security tokens. Again, not going to go through each and every single one. Some may be interested in VC funds. So for example, now I have a pool of funds, and obviously I need to represent my LPs and so on and so forth. How do I then tokenize this fund? Okay, can it be through a buyback and so on and so forth? Asset-backed, it's tied to a real-world asset. Okay, you have share-like tokens, which is like your equity and so on and so forth, ownership. And finally, bonds, right? Future streams of income. Okay. Having said that, although STOs is one of the flavor of the quarter or year, I would say that it's actually it's not without its issues, right? So of course, number one is regulation. Right? If you want to issue any securities in any part of the jurisdictions, obviously you need to deal with regulations. And then after that will be your deal execution, governance, right? And finally, where do I trade these tokens? Right? How many exchanges actually can take in securities, which is again regulated by the different jurisdictions again. Right? So all these things you can see that regulations have a very heavy influence on securities. Okay. Now this is a snapshot of US regulations. Of course, not meant to be legal advice, but a lot of companies are relying on Regulation D, which is private offerings. Right? Regulation D is similar to what you have in Singapore if you are offering securities to less than 50 persons, not more than $5 million within a single year, 12 months. That is under Regulation D, which is sort of the shortcut to issuing securities without conforming to a lot of regulations. Okay, and this is what I just mentioned. So not exceeding $5 million. Again, this is not legal advice. Don't take it as the gospel truth. So please check with your lawyers if you want to issue any securities in Singapore. Okay, full back this, yeah. And I added this morning because if you look at the next slide, right, this was just issued yesterday night or this morning. It was yesterday night. I was yesterday night. Right. So a security token offering was stopped by MAS, very hot off the press, because, believe it or not, the legal advisors actually advertise the STO on LinkedIn. Right. So one of the key things is that you're not supposed to advertise it, because by advertising you're actually giving out information which is not uniform. Right. Some people may not receive it. Some people will receive it earlier, or so on and so forth. Right? So you're not supposed to advertise. It's supposed to be a private offering to less than 50 investors, not more than $5 million within a single year. Okay, so all these things are very important. Right? Again, check your legal advisors on that. Okay, so as Dorel mentioned or showed you earlier, you can actually download the code from our app store and run your own ICO. Okay. But we also have another one for non-developers, right? And I'll show you, we actually have developed a tool that very quickly allows you to actually do a quick token sale, right? Again, before you do all this, my suggestion is to check with your legal advisors first. Again, the tool is here to help you to do all this without coding, but that does not mean you can just go out and issue your own tokens immediately. Okay, so this is built on top of Ethereum. Just now we have seen VeChain. So very quickly, again, there are different steps. So I click on this. So here you can see there's a whitelist recap. So I just click continue. Right, and here is where you do your setup. Right, your name, ticker symbol, which is your stock symbol or whatever. How many decimal points, address that you need to send to, okay, and tokens, token vesting period, okay. So I have pre-filled this at the back end. So if I continue, here is where I need to put in my wallet address, okay. This is where, when you do crowdfund, this is where the money comes into, okay. I can preset the different gas price. Let's try it out here. we have a wallet address here. So investors, a bit of typo here. Okay, you can enable whitelisting, and if it's STO, one of the key differentiating factors is that you need to whitelist your investors, right? Because certain you need to offer them to accredited investors. This is where you do whitelisting. Okay, so you can mention the different start time, end time, lock-in. When do you unlock the tokens? What is the supply? So Dorel minted 1 billion. I'm going to mint 1 million, right? You can add different tiers as well. So for example, if I run the STO or ICO from this phase to this phase, there are more, if early birds you get more discount, you can also do that. If not, you can just click publish. Okay. So different tools are there to help you. So straight away done. How long did it take me to issue my own ICO or STO? 5 minutes, 10 minutes. So the difficult part is not the coding part, because we have done the work for you, but the important part is you basically have to go out and make sure that all these are legal, right? If not, then obviously MAS will come after you, right? So long story short, what we're doing here today at Morpheus Labs is to take away all the difficulties, right? In terms of coding, in terms of setting up, in terms of doing all these things. You can straight away do all this on the fly nowadays. Okay? Any questions? Yes.
Can you mix STO and ICO? Because you are at liberty to do such things.
So, which is why I said the legal portion of it is very important, right?
I mean, someone wants to do this, transport.
Yeah, theoretically, you can do anything you want with the software like this, because you see, I already published the token sale and things like that. You can start collecting whatever funds you want, but at the end of the day, like I said, I think MAS is not messing around when they say that you should not issue security tokens when you are not supposed to, right? Unless you have proper legal grounds, right? You have done your own due diligence, you have a CMS license, capital markets license, you can do such things. If you don't have, then you have to go to somebody that has a CMS license and do it under this company or this project, right? So I think it's very clear. Again, this is not legal advice, but before you issue any security tokens or anything that promises return, you need to check with your lawyer, okay? So, but in terms of the coding and the actual issuing of the tokens is not difficult, right? as you have seen, okay? Any other questions? Do you think that was simple to issue tokens? It's actually very simple. In the past, you have to write your own smart contract, put in all these things done. I just click, and then that's it. Right? So it's only like 5 steps. I can actually do my own ICO or STO immediately. Okay. Yeah. 4 smart contracts, all done for you. Don't need to write anything. No need to lift the finger. Actually, the difficult part is not this, right? The difficult part is after that. Okay, well, like I've said, first of all, the legal part. The second part is actually marketing. The third part is getting the investors. So we will do the heavy lifting for you, and then you do focus on the business side and also the legal side. Get it sorted, and then you're good to go. Okay? If not, that's all we have today. I know it's Friday night, but what happens after this is not the end. You can help yourself to the food, or please approach any one of us. We can have a chat. Okay?
Yes, we're going to have a short networking session.
Okay, thank you very much for coming. Yes?
You have some stacks and some apps app library.
Yes.
What are they?
You mean from our app store just now?
Yes.
Yes.
So what are the stacks and apps app library?
So the stacks are basically the different blockchains that you can actually spin up. So different blockchains also come with different, it's configured for different use, right? So for example, certain blockchains is better for certain apps, and then from there you can also go to the app store, pull out the different apps, and then just edit the code and then publish.
So we can go to your GitLab direct. Okay?
The GitLab or GitHub is,
developer prefer this kind of.
yes, you can connect
You
it.
don't want this kind of dashboard.
Yeah, so dashboard is for you to actually very quickly do your own stuff, but you can also connect to your GitHub and GitLab or whatever, right?
No, yours. So we go there.
Yes, we have an app store, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, right? We
Yeah.
go to your place and pick up stuff?
Yes, we do. Yeah.
You understand the rest of the sentence?
Yeah.
So what do you have in the app library?
Sorry?
What do you have in the app library?
So
In the library, we have the code application. So suppose you develop an application that you save it, you push in the repository, and then you decide to publish in the library. Other user can download and use it. It's the code and run it. So it's the code and the application that. And to answer to the question before, it's not that we invite the user in our GitLab. When you register your GitLab account, so you connect your own GitHub repository. So you publish from your GitHub repository to the App Store, which is our App Store, where we store in a vault the software. And then any user can buy or free download from the App Store into their own repository. But the initial step when you register, you have to connect your own repository, what you prefer, right? So what you have seen before, a repository list is repository of the user, not of Morpheus Labs.
So yeah.
How did you decide which protocols will be on your platform? How do you, and is there intention to
Yeah.
get all of them on?
Yeah.
to your
So
platform?
obviously there are many protocols or blockchains out there. It's not feasible and not economically viable to put everyone in. So we actually have a few criteria. Number one is how well established is the developer community, right? So by default, I think we see a lot of developer activity in Ethereum. So obviously that has to be in. And some other considerations would be how specific is this blockchain to certain use cases or certain industry. For example, if let's say this blockchain is more suited for interbank transfers like Stellar or XRP, then obviously you should use that as a benchmark, right? So we will put in Stellar or XRP next. Okay. Another one would be, do we need to set up a lot of things, right? So for example, multi-chain is good for very lightweight kind of dApps. Okay, then we'll put it in. So there are different criteria, but mostly centered around developer community as well as the use cases, because that is the most important thing, right? So yeah.
I noticed you had Hyperledger, which is more like a permission
Yes.
private blockchain,
Yeah.
and then most of the others tend to be
Yeah.
public blockchain. So are you trying to offer like a broad spectrum of
Correct.
different things that
Yes.
might appeal to different
Yeah.
apps?
So when we talk to, for example, banks, right? Some of them may not be comfortable using open source like Ethereum or whatever. So then they might have certain criteria that, oh, I do not want all the data to be published, therefore I want it on certain environment. Okay, maybe Hyperledger is more suited. So which is why we try to cater as much as possible to the different needs of the industry and use cases.
So which are the target clients or customers are you targeting then specifically for this type of?
I think for us, it's applicable to different types of industries, but the most important is to help companies fail fast, right? And I said this earlier is because nowadays there are a lot of people are focusing a lot of effort into creating blockchains, right? Oh, I have a new blockchain, but how many people are actually developing dApps? It's very difficult to develop dApps. Which is the most interesting dApp that you have used so far? I think none, right? Unless you are a CryptoKitty fan, maybe you own a CryptoKitty, which I presume not. But besides CryptoKitty, if you don't gamble, what other dApps out there are you using, right? So in fact, this morning I just read a report. The most interesting dApps right now that has the most users, number one is gambling, number two is CryptoKitty. What else can we develop on? So this is where we are also trying to help the industry, right? Gone were the days where people are just chasing after price of Bitcoin, price of this, price of that, which is great. I mean, if you are interested in that, but at the end of the day, it doesn't help the industry, the blockchain industry grow. Because at the end of the day, you need to come back to basics. And this is why the bear market is good to filter out all the noise, right? So now you have to go back to basic, which is do the real work, develop the real stuff for that sees adoption, right? Not develop things that nobody want to use, but develop things that people want to use, right? Besides gambling and crypto kitties. Yeah. If you have other questions, please stay back. If not, I would let you, have more food, or you can actually mingle around, exchange name cards. Yeah.
Yes, and also just to add on, there's actually an event exclusive perks today. So if you sign up with us, you will be entitled to a free basic tier for 1 month. You can actually try out the platform to actually play around with it and understand how it works. So do join us for the short networking session after this. And on behalf of our team, we'd like to wish everybody a happy Chinese New Year, because Chinese New Year is coming. Wishing everybody great health and great happiness. Thank you.
Thank you.